Let's talk about boundaries. For a lot of us, we have not even heard about the term boundary. We grew up in households where our boundaries were constantly violated, and we didn't even know that we had the right to speak up for our boundaries. A healthy boundary has three parts, not just naming the boundary. A boundary is not a boundary without a consequence. Let's talk about a common example that I often hear from my clients. I do not want to talk to my whoever it is, this person, especially when they're drunk. So the first part of a boundary is setting up the boundary and naming it. It looks like, I do not want to talk to you when you're drunk. And if you stop there, if you just name the boundary, then the other person is not going to take you seriously. This is where people often wonder, but I am setting up boundaries, but they're not listening to me. They're not taking you seriously because there is no consequence to that boundary. So, for example, don't cross the traffic light. And can you imagine if there is no consequence to that action, how many people will actually follow that rule? So, let's come up with a consequence for this boundary. I don't want to talk to you when you're drunk. And the consequence could be, if I notice that you're drunk when you're talking to me, I'm going to hang up on you and we can continue the discussion at another time when you're not drunk. So, name the boundary, name the consequence. And the third, the most important thing is you need to follow up with this consequence that you just set up. And people who have codependent personalities, they have a very difficult time following through the consequence that you set up. So I often hear from moms who are codependents telling their kids, clean up your room, and they name the boundary, keep your room clean, and with a little bit of pushing from me, they come up with a consequence. If you don't clean up your room, whatever the consequence is, you don't get screen time. But codependent moms often fail to follow through the consequence. So instead of doing whatever the consequence is, they just go in and clean the room themselves. So it's not easy to just stay and follow through the consequence and not do anything, but you will have to learn to sit with that little discomfort to teach the other person so that the relationship becomes better, healthier. So to wrap up, remember, a boundary is not a boundary without a consequence, and it's very important for you to follow through the consequence. If you don't do any of these three steps, you will not be taken seriously. Let me know what your thoughts are.